Pushrod Fury. And I am going to go through this process. I'm just going to top off my reservoir. Of course, none of this is going to make it into the final build of the bike. And we're just deconstructing the crap that we were dealt with. So I'm going to put a little bit of pressure with my foot. And then, of course, this is going to come rocketing out. So I don't want to shoot myself with it. So let me just bleed that. Okay, and I'm going to pump. And the rebuilt master cylinder works great. Builds up nice pressure. Okay, I'm going to pump. Okay. Feels like I'm building up pressure. So the frustration continues. We're in the last break. I'm trying to make a video to show you how to use the master cylinder to pump old corroded pistons out of their calipers. And I'm generating an enormous amount of pressure on this side of the caliper. So where the brake line comes in. But on the bleeder side, you take the bleeder off, there's no pressure. And when I release the banjo bolt on this side, it actually makes a psst sound like that as it releases pressure. So we're building up pressure here. We just don't have a clear passageway from here to the bleeder. So I'm going to dig into that, see if we can get it unclogged, and hopefully that takes care of the problem. But these brakes have been a little more of a challenge than I thought. But I guess for 42-year-old brakes, they're showing me every possible challenge. So I'm going to dig into it a little bit more and I'll let you know what I find. My shop conditions are not the best. You know what? It's clogged again. Okay, there we go. Okay, now the piston. So this has been nothing but a bear. Everything is messed up on this, and this particular caliper had a challenge because the passageway from where the banjo bolt attaches to the caliper, and the fluid's supposed to go behind the piston, and then you can bleed from the bleeder valve. That passageway was completely obstructed, and we had to soak it with WD-40 and then apply about 100 psi to this just to create a small but not very good air passage, which then allowed us to begin to put hydraulic pressure on the piston. So now I'm just going to observe. You can watch the pistons should start to come out. Yep, there we go. And remember, that wouldn't even budge with 100 psi behind it before. So we're just going to pump that, and then it's kind of like a couple of things that you've got to monitor here. We're monitoring this and the master cylinder fluid level. I don't want that to drop down and then start pumping air. So I'm just going to top that off. And again, this is a bit of a mess, but it's effective. Okay. You can see we're slowly progressing. You can see more and more of that piston getting exposed. I'm going to turn it upright so we don't make a giant disastrous mess when it pops out. And top off brake fluid. This is the end of my brake fluid. And again, none of this is going to remain in the system. All of this is going to be cleaned out again. We're simply using this as a hydraulic system to remove the pistons. And you can see this is happening live. This is 42-year-old piston coming out. And they're in pretty good shape. They just really corroded, but they're not. There's contaminants in there, but the pistons themselves don't appear to be damaged. So monkeying around with this. There we go. Giving it up. There we go. That's it. That's it. Live. Here's the end. It's not as bad as the others. You can see it's still pretty shiny. So we'll just clean those up. And when we get our rebuild kit, we'll put a new seal in the caliper. And we'll reuse those pistons. All right. On to it. So this is what I'm doing. I'm drinking a beer and I'm polishing pistons at the dinner table like a savage. But I'm just going around with this big stupid Scotch-Brite thing. It's not ideal, but it's what I had because our workshop is a few miles from the apartment. And we have a garage near the apartment, but we can't do hardcore work in it. Like I can't be blasting brake fluid everywhere at that garage. I'll lose my rental privileges. But I'm going over this with the Scotch-Brite, cleaning it up. A lot of our supplies are at the garage, so it's not redundant. So it's not like we've got like access to a garage just outside the door. And then if you exceed 25 miles an hour, you get a ticket in the mail for $50. So it's kind of like a giant pain in the ass. But anyway, you scrub your pistons with Scotch-Brite, not with a file, and you don't want to use some kind of ridiculous sandpaper. You wouldn't want to use like 300 grit sandpaper because that would mess it up, right? Okay, the brake saga continues. Doing some kitchen table rebuild of the calipers. So calipers aren't going to win a sexy contest. I mean, they're old, the paint's peeling. Maybe I could strip the paint and pretty them up, but not on this build. These things were a catastrophe. Lots of buildup and garbage inside of the calipers, behind the seals. You can see it's not perfect, but it's smooth. So there's some discoloration on the metal. Went through it with Scotch-Brite, brake cleaner. And by the way, the Blaster brand cleaner from Home Depot seemed to start to take the paint off of the caliper. So maybe avoid that brand of brake cleaner. So anyway, I'm going to assemble this. I have a rebuild kit from Mike's XS website. And it's good for the front calipers. It's a set, so we're going to put the caliper gaskets in, and the pistons, we're going to press those back in, and we'll put the boots back on. Now the kit doesn't come with new spring clips, but I've got spring clips at the shop, so that's not a problem. Put those on. But when you assemble this, it's kind of new to me, might not be new to you guys, but you can use red rubber grease. It's compatible with brake systems, so this will help lubricate everything, make sure we don't have any binding or damage the seals that are going to go into calipers. So I'm going to apply this to the seals, it's light coat to the pistons, and by the way, I will show you, I went over the pistons with Scotch-Brite and 1000 grit sandpaper, and there's some discoloration, but there's no, you can't feel any imperfections. So it should work, these should work just fine. And this one, the top's got a little bit of discoloration, but again, we Scotch-Brited that. You can see these are not marks, these are just discoloration, you can't feel anything, so we shouldn't have any problems there. So we'll put this together. Just need to figure out the best way to film it. So we've got light coat of red rubber grease on our seals. I'm just going to tuck them in, turn that so you can see what I'm doing. I'm sure the lighting sucks, but there we go. It's in there. We'll do the second one. 2. Just kind of scooch it in there. And for this build, we're not screwing around. Like yes, you know, the calipers aren't, I'm not stripping the paint off of them and powder coating them or pretending they're Brembos. I want to get the bike functional and safe. And I take the brake system really seriously. So clearly we're not going to reuse the rubber, you know, 42-year-old brake lines or anything silly like that. So we've got some Caliper stainless steel lines on the way. I put those on a Honda Rebel once, and let me tell you, that completely changed that bike as far as braking goes with that. And a set of EBC double H pads on a Honda Rebel. It was fantastic. It was such great brake feel, and you could just get the same feedback. Better feedback, I think, than I was getting out of my Race Prep DX500 on the front brakes. So it was really nice. I'm just putting a coat of grease on these pistons to protect them. It's a little humid today, and I don't want water to condense on the pistons, and then they get tucked away in the calipers and then start to rust. So I'm just going to put a light coat all over the pistons, very thin coat of this stuff. And really, there's not much to a single piston brake. You know, I had these matched to the cylinders. So yeah, this is the left one. I put some primer paint in it. So that goes in there, and then it just gets pressed together. You just kind of carefully push the piston in. Of course, it's going to look super awkward while I'm doing it. I'm going to put a little more grease on it. So it's a little light. So I'm just going to put a light coat on there. Don't want any issues. Okay, and now my fingers are a mess. So let's see if we can get this to look like we meant it. Definitely don't want to force this in. Okay. There you go. It's going to be a pain. So has a nice snug fit. Kind of overdid it on that. I wanted the lip exposed on it. So next is the boot. I'll get the boot on there. And the boot is on. So that worked out. So again, we don't have the spring clips with us. Those are at the shop, which, by the way, takes forever to get to now because they do these street closures so that people can walk in the street without looking, or whatever the reason is. So they do that for fun, and they've had that now for a few weeks where the streets are barricaded around Prospect Park so that people can cross the street, I guess, without using a crosswalk, or maybe they are doing it so they can watch how frustrated people in traffic are. So I'm going to seat this one the rest of the way. Okay. Let's go. It's not quite seated all the way, so it's going to be a problem. Use some more body weight on this. So let's see if we can get it to. There we go. Yeah, I don't want to use a C-clamp for this operation. Okay, so those are all assembled. The other thing we have are the bleeder cap protectors, and I want to show you those. These are a little ratted, but they function. So there's one thing to replace something because you just don't like the way it looks. It's another thing to replace it because it no longer functions. This didn't function yesterday because the seating surface was rusted. So we took it out, went over it with some Scotch-Brite, and tested it, and it works fine. So it's ugly, but that's an $8 part, that little thing. So I figured why not just reuse it, right? The best form of recycling is reuse. So, and then this one is fine too, and it was tested over and over again. This is the main bleeder I use to bleed all the brakes as I remove the calipers. So I'll probably tidy this up, and I'll show you. I mean, this is no surprise, right? The bleeder, let me just show you this one because it's prettier. Goes there. This is going to go through that cute little jacket or covering, and then it's going to tighten it up. Oops, yeah, tighten that up. And that should do it. So I'm going to tighten that. And then we have a cute little cap. Boop. It looks like we meant it. Okay, there'll be more on the brakes later.